Jujutsu Kaisen is one of the most popular manga and anime out right now, and it seems to be in its final arc in the manga, as the creator 𝙲𝚘𝚙𝚎𝚛 says that it will end soon. So I reread the entire series to try to get a clear understanding of the endings. And let's say it could go a lot of different ways with 𝙲𝚘𝚙𝚎, because fuck 𝙲𝚘𝚙𝚎. So I broke it down into 3 endings. Now, ending number 1 is considered the happy ending, which we all know is the least likely, knowing 𝙲𝚙𝚎. Now, the happy ending will be starting from chapter 242, as that's the latest one. Now, this is gonna be a little fast-paced, but please catch up. Takaba loses but weakens 𝙤𝚘𝚙, and Yuta comes up and beats 𝙤𝚘𝚙, you know, using his sword and copy techniques, whatever. Meanwhile, Yuji and his lawyer is jumping Sukuna, because Himji is just too good for Fraud Kuna. Eventually, we see all the curses losing and Sukuna perishing, but before that happens, we hear Yuji gets to see that Gojo was healed, but by who? It was the nurse, yeah. But before Sukuna perishes, he has one last cleave left in him, but suddenly, there's a nail stabbed inside his hand, and we hear resonance. And Nobara appears alive, walking towards everyone. They all seem happy, but there's no Megumi. But that's where you're wrong, because Nobara didn't kill Sukuna, she brought back Megumi. And a couple months later, after the King of Curses, Sukuna was dead. The Society of Japan is going back to normal. And we end with our favorite characters in the movie theater, watching the best movie out, Human Earthworm 5. And that's the happy ending because I'm not a writer. But we all know this isn't the true ending. 𝙤𝚙𝚎𝚑 ain't like that. So let's move on to the worst ending, which is surprisingly more likely. And this is if everything went wrong. Alright, so in the fight against Kenjaku vs Takaba, Kenjaku beats Takaba by being the better comedian and spots Yuta before his head gets sliced. He then uses anti-gravity techniques and they fight. But the battle will end with Kenjaku using the merger and kills both Yuta and Rika, ending their fight. And for simplicity, everybody else just dies by stopping the merger. And that will probably happen knowing 𝙤𝚙𝚎. Now we go to the Sukuna fight where Yuji is jumping down and about to activate his curse technique. And we explained his curse technique in this video, and make sure to go watch it after this. But Sukuna uses Cleave, hitting Yuji, but 𝙲𝚘𝚎𝚑 uses his domain expansion and trials Sukuna for all his crimes, and that includes Shibuya. Sukuna agrees that he did everything because he ain't no bitch, and 𝙲𝚑𝚑 is given Excalibur or some shit, and Yuji and 𝙲𝚑𝚑 are just jumping Sukuna for a little bit, until Sukuna is about to use his domain expansion, and all you hear is idle death gamble, as Hikari jumps from above and punches Sukuna. Uraaume comes shortly after, and it becomes a 2v3, but I'm not the mangaka, so I'll skip to the ending of this peak. Yuji's about to kill Sukuna when Megumi forms again, and Yuji stops, but then you hear, Open Fuga. As it cutscenes to Yuji crying, and Sukuna appears saying, You impressed me, brat. You are strong. And it shows Yuji being burnt to a crisp, just like Nanami. And with that, the curses rule the world. Alright, so I realize this whole video is just sounding like shitty fanfiction. But now let's move on to the most likely ending of Jujutsu Kaisen. Now, I'm running out of imagination right now, so I'm not gonna make this detailed, as it's pretty much the same as everything else. But Kenjaku loses and everyone successfully stops the merger. But most of them die in the process, with like Maki surviving or something. Now, with the fight against Sukuna, 𝙲𝚑𝚑 loses an arm due to Cleave and probably gets some more stars. Yuji is permanently scarred from all the slices he endured, but he did manage to kill Sukuna with his curse technique, which I discussed in this video. Second plug, by the way. I'm really good at my job. But anyways, Hikari also loses an arm against Uraaume. And I know it's not perfect, but it ends with Yuji on a train alone, just like the first opening of Jujutsu Kaisen. And I know I could have made it better, but that's my theory. And aside from all jokes, tell me which one you guys would prefer to see. And hell, if this video does good, I'll make an actually good story, like a 10 to 20 minute video discussing everything in detail. Anyways, see ya!